Hey, what's up, everybody? It is January 8th, 2020. I got to get used to saying that for a little bit. And Turnaround Tuesday. It's NFP week this week. And, you know, a lot of times the market can be a little choppy, I think, the first week of the month. And that's definitely the case this week. But we've got still some good setups. We made some good trades in the VIP group. And I'm going to go over those right now. I really like Euro setup, AUD/USD, and we still have the cloud of what's going to happen with Iran. You know, I mean, it's died down the past 2-3 days, but you know, they had. If you've been looking at the news, they've been having this huge mourning and funeral and stuff over in Iraq for this general that was assassinated. So I'm kind of thinking that, you know, hey, I have no idea what Iran's going to do, but it would make sense to me that they kind of wait until after this dies down and then they go in with some sort of retaliation, which I think is pretty likely. So, you know, it's still kind of waiting on that, on edge on that. So, but keeping that in mind, you know, we still have gold at these huge levels. And yen got a good rally, which we sold. We were trying to sell it on Sunday and Monday and got caught on the other side, hit some stop losses, but recovered those trades pretty nicely today. And I think, and overall, we just have to think long term. You got to think, try to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that there is way more risk in the world than not. And by risk, I don't mean like risk on for some reason the stock market seemed to not be faded at all by these moves, but you know, it's hanging by a thread, and you know, the threat of some sort of war is pretty much undeniable at this point. So you know, putting your bets in on the yen, putting your bets on gold, putting your bets on the franc, and even the dollar is pretty much a good bet, to be honest. So euro as well. Let's take a look at the euro USD first. And we entered in, first of all, we've caught this trade on pretty much both sides of it. You can see here we were in a sell position. We got our sell in right here, and we got a great entry. And so I'm going to probably send out a message to the group to go ahead and take profits on the sell. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pause. Okay, great. So sorry for that pause there. So you can see we're still in this breakout for Euro USD. I've been talking about it for a couple weeks now, and we sold this rally here, and we just got a good position on the way down, and we've retested this massive trend line, which is the top side of the descending wedge. So all right, I just took profits on that top position, and I really like this to the long side. So, you know, my long-term target is 117, but for the short term, what I'll do is I'll draw Fibonacci from the top of the wedge here to the bottom, and really we'll be aiming for the 38.2 retracement, which is at $112.30, and so that's going to be a major level of resistance for us to overcome. And you can see we already rejected first, but I honestly think this is a good place to start building a position, piling on some euro long positions, and I think that's what I'm going to do and really try to play this long term, because we've broken out of this wedge, and we have NFP Friday, and so that's going to be a big deal. If the numbers come out weak, that's going to be very good for the euro. So another setup I do like that we've just entered in is AU. Very, very similar here. I'll remove this fib to make it a little more clear, so you can see we have our huge downtrend here, and this looks like the bottom, and here we are making our way, making higher highs up, and looks like a lower high to me. And we're retesting the backside of this trend line. So I really like this. I'm going to send this out to the group. All right, so there we are on our AU position. Now let's take a look at some JPY trades and positions we've got here. And EJ, we were taking stabs at it yesterday and finally landed nicely. We have a nice straight up, good old fashioned double top here. And you can see you have 1, 2, and this is a great place to start establishing longs. You know, we took out our stops got taken out, including ours right here, but we re-entered. So you can see where our trades are. We got a good entry, 121.45. And, you know, as long as we stay below here, you know, I think we have some more downside, at least to the back to this 120.30 level. So that's going to be a good trading opportunity. So out of all the JPY pairs, I think if you can look across the board and say, okay, I like the yen because I know this war situation's happening. We got Iran, we got the United States. There's a lot of uncertainty. And as soon as Iran, you know, hits some sort of target, you know, as soon as something happens concerning this war and the minute it escalates, yen is going to strengthen again. So it's nice to have some established positions here for sure. And when you're looking across the board, so knowing that, so you can look at CAD JPY, you can look at UJ, you can look at GJ, and then here's EJ, and you can determine, oh, well, okay, here's double top structure. We've already completed it and made this valid, right? Because we have 1 push, 2 push, double top. On top of that, divergent RSI. I love trading these top setups, and we've broken down and then retested the neckline here and started our downward movement, right? So it's once you can discern that and determine that, then EJ might be the yen pair that you really pay attention to. I do also like USDJPY, and we entered a trade on that one as well. In a little bit of drawdown here, but that's okay. Let's see, we have our 38.2 retracement here, and this is what I was looking at. You know, if we're going by the saying, the game plan, sell the rallies, buy the dip, sell the rallies, then, you know, this is a great rally to sell. And you can see we are struggling at this level. So the minute, you know, we get some negative news concerning Iran, I think this is going to be a great trade because you can see we have established that we've already broken down out of this. So maybe we get a retracement to 61.8. I doubt it. I think kind of where we are is where we're staying at, but that would be still below 109. And I mentioned in our chat room, you know, as long as we stay below this 109, I'm staying pretty bearish for UJ. I like UJ. I love to trade it, and it's really I like to think of it as the barometer of the market. You know, if you can kind of get a feel for what yen's doing, what UJ's doing, then you can really get a good feel for what risk is doing. So I really like this USDJPY trade. I really like EURUSD long. I also like Australian dollar, US dollar. And then, of course, concerning gold, I mean, we're up here at this 1570 level. We broke out. That's this gap right here. So the question is whether or not this gap gets filled. I mean, I guess you could say it kind of did here, but right here, if we go out to the weekly, let me delete all these Fibonacci's. So from this high, which is the bull flag, to the low, we hit the 127% extension of that move. We nearly hit it, which is about at 1588. And that level also coincides with, if we go from the all-time high in gold to this low. So if we take our Fibonacci's from this high to this low here, that also matches up with the 61.8 retracement. So that being said, this is a huge level. It's going to be very difficult to break through. Now, some sort of huge news event, missile strike, retaliation, that could be the thing that would do it for sure. If you look over here on the weekly, we've retested this overbought area. If you check out where we are on the daily, we're still extremely overbought. So I'm hoping, waiting for an opportunity to get some sort of dip. That would be a good buying opportunity, because we also have, now we have higher high, higher high, high, higher high, and we just need to carve out a new lower high here. So you can see this kind of demonstrated better in the weekly chart. Higher high, higher high, higher high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So that would make sense, and that would just be like the establishment of this trend, and that would also give the RSI the ability to reset here, because you can see we're still just kind of hanging out here in this overbought territory, even on the 4-hour. So it's likely that we see one more push up to this 1588 level, and then get a rejection. It's also potentially likely that, you know, some sort of news breaks at any moment now. It's a very tough trading environment for that reason. Anything can happen right now, you know, and then that's the catalyst to push this thing past those levels. But the 61.8 and 127% extension from the moves I just showed you is going to create a pretty significant wall of resistance from this high of the flag to this low of the flag, and from the all-time high to the low of this pattern. It creates a pretty epic level of resistance here. So I'm hoping for a big rejection, you know, or maybe even a rejection to the 50% retracement. Highly doubt that's going to happen, but you never know. And that would just create just epic buying opportunity. It would be a godsend for sure. And then that would be create a just amazing buying opportunity for gold to amp up for another stab at 1580, 1600, and then beyond that. Because remember, if we're looking at this being a bull flag, typically when they break out of the bull flag, it's the same distance as the flagpole. Which would then be the 78.6 level, roughly 1730. So that could be later this year, or like I said, at the rate this thing's going, it could be who knows, end of the week. NFP will be a big difference. Of course, if we get a big miss of the data on the numbers, then that's going to be you know, very significant for precious metals as well. So hope you like this video. Thanks for your support. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Really appreciate you. And if you would like to be a part of our trading community, like to learn from my training, click links below. We'd love to have you. It's an amazing group of traders from all over the world, and I hope to see you in there. So that being said, everybody have a great night, and let's finish the week strong. Peace.